Welcome in to Bobcat Live, a special edition as we highlight the baseball and softball seasons. I'm Brandon Lewis. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight right here on KFJB-TV, streaming on Facebook as well as on YouTube and at 1230kfjb.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe and like button on YouTube. It's youtube.com/@KFJB-TV. Happy to have you along tonight as well as interim head coach for the baseball squad, Alan Mann. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. You guys had a scrimmage on Tuesday night. I was able to kind of get out there and see the guys working. Some of the familiar faces back this season, Nick Rebick, Seth Smith, the two senior leaders for you. I mean, those guys did a really good job last year. I know it was some difficulty over the past couple of years, but boy, Nick Rebick, Seth Smith have been incredibly dedicated to this program.
Yes, they have. A lot of credit to those two, plus Kyler Blue and then Caleb Kusero as a junior. They've stuck through this whole thing from the beginning. It's been a rocky road the last 3 years, but I think we're at a point where we have some stability and the future looks a lot better than it did 1 year ago.
Of course, you used to be the assistant under former head coach, and now that head coach is now an assistant for you as you're the interim.
Yeah.
Talk about that dynamic for the Bobcat faithful who, for many years, had a constant person there at the helm, and now you've seen a few years of that rollover.
Yeah, Marshalltown's always been a place that's been a basketball and a baseball school. We had Coach Clement and then transitioned right to Coach Hansen, so you're covering decades and decades worth of stability within our program. I was fortunate enough to play under Steve Hansen from the 2006 to 9 range.
Yeah,
and now the fact that he's sort of reporting to me, and I say sort of because he still has a very strong say and influence in everything we do, but it's very surreal. It's cool.
There's nothing that can really – I can't remember how many years you told me the other day that he was the head man, Steve Hansen, for the baseball program. Was 20-something, almost 30 years?
20-plus years.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's really nothing that can replicate that years of experience. And so, I know you played at Central, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so, with that baseball knowledge, I mean, helping that kind of pass it down to the kids, how do you think you take advantage of that in this 1 year where you're able to lead?
Yeah, lean heavily on him. I also convinced his longtime assistant, Jeff Hoganson, to volunteer as well. And I'm relying on those guys. If there's something that I'm unsure of, I'm not going to just guess or even ignore the issue. I'm going to ask them. And then, with their experience, they usually have an answer, and they know how to help our kids tackle anything that we need to improve on.
Talk about the starters, the 9 that you'll be putting out there on Monday against South Tama. Where you're kind of feeling like some guys are going to be playing at?
Sure. Right now, we'll probably go with Seth Smith on the mound. He's done a very good job here this whole preseason, consistently getting the ball over the plate. We've been tracking data ever since we've been able to throw, and consistently he's probably over the plate a little bit more than some of the other guys. So I'm comfortable with him. Also, as we just mentioned, that stability, he's stuck through this whole thing. So he's used to some adversity. So I'm confident he'll go out and compete. Behind the plate will be Caleb Kusero. I know he played a bunch there last year. He's going to kind of be a guy that I'm going to rely on back there. And then Sam Griesel at shortstop will kind of anchor the middle of that defense, and then Nick Rebick in center field, and he'll be the quarterback out there, and we'll let him run and go catch everything, man. Everybody else get out of the way because he's pretty good, and he'll go track it down.
Yeah. Relying on some of those guys to kind of show the way and pave it. I mean, it seems like last year we saw that kind of 8th freshman crew kind of come in and get some meaningful playing time, but I mean, you can't replicate the experience. You can't, have situational stuff just sink in overnight, right? That kind of thing, right? I mean, it's a growing process.
A lot of growing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of growing to go still. And I think these previous years, it's been a necessity. Unfortunately, we're still kind of in that stage where it's a necessity where we have to play some young guys where I'm not necessarily comfortable quite yet, but they work at it. They're coachable. So they at least the fact that they control that helps me sleep a little better at night. But I do need to remind myself when I think of, Xander Stupp, Sam Griesel, and even like Taven Dutton, I treat them like they're seniors, but I got to remind myself they're sophomores. And even Caleb Kusero, he's been around and he's played the last few years, but I got to remind myself he's just a junior at the very beginning stage of his junior year. There's still a lot that these guys can learn and grow. So I'm excited to see where they end when we play July 8th, when it matters most.
You mentioned a guy like Xander Stupp, and I was going to talk about him because he got a lot of innings on the mound last year. I know he pitched, a couple innings for you the other night in that scrimmage. He got hit around a little bit, but I think that a guy who can come in behind your starter and maybe give you quite a few innings, at least some work, it seems like he goes up there and battles. He's kind of a battler, and he just is going to try to attack and do the best that he can. Is that kind of what you've been seeing?
Absolutely. He's right there with Seth, and even on some days a little bit better percentage-wise getting the ball over the plate. And we've made it clear to these guys, we're not going to be a strikeout team. We're not going to set any type of school record or conference record of getting guys out, striking guys out. We need them to get the ball over the plate, allow teams to put the ball in play, and give our defense a chance. The big emphasis and the reason I've talked about strikes quite a bit so far is last year, and I wish I brought my stat packet with me, but the amount of walks that we gave up, and then you go walk, and then a little bloop single, and then you're down 2-0, it kills you. And it's all due to them not being able to put the ball over the plate. So having that emphasis here this spring and here this early summer, the kids have bought into it. They've executed to the best of their ability up to this point. I think they'll continue to grow. But Xander's right there where he's a 60% strike guy over the plate, which is where we want to be.
Yeah. Last year, a tough season, 3-35 or 3-35? 3-23.
Yeah,
I thought it was 3. Anyway, last year out of the CIML, 0-23 in conference play last year. But now in the Iowa Alliance coming up this year, I remember going back down to Dowling to have the first postseason game last year, and it was 15-0 in that one. And then you watch Dowling, and they made a good run towards state tournament last year, and that was such a tough game because you look at their roster 1 through 9, it was like, who are you going to get out? I mean, these guys, I think the 9 or 8 hole hitter came up and hit a big home run for them. And, it's just, in the CIML, it's very challenging. It seems like maybe this year you're going to be on a little more of a competitive edge as far as the talent. Amano, what's your thoughts on that change, and is there a benefit?
I'm sure there's a benefit, but really we're trying to help our kids go compete against anybody that it is that's over there, whether that be Dowling Catholic, Johnston, or Des Moines Roosevelt, Waterloo East. Frankly, I don't care. I think we're getting to a point where our kids don't care. So, hey, let's go compete and see what happens. Yeah. We'll put you in the right spot as long as you're coachable and you work at it. And if you're in the right spot, you're going to give yourself a chance. It's baseball. It's different than football. Football, you can run over guys and, someone can be physically, just overpower you. But in baseball, you might get guys that, they hit 400, but if you change speeds with your pitch velocities and things like that, maybe they start flaring stuff, rolling over. You get to the 7th inning against a really good team, and it's 0-1. All right, they're probably a little nervous. So that's what we're trying to install with our kids, not get too caught up in the opponent that we're playing. And if it's number 1 team playing over there, let's go.
What's the style of play of this team? Is it a little bit of that small ball approach, get somebody on, move the runner over, focusing on that little stuff?
Yeah, we're working on all that. I don't know if we necessarily have an identity quite yet. I wish I could sit here and say, hey, we're going to be a doubles team and steal a bunch of bases. Probably not there. Also have a lot of work to do in terms of putting the ball on the ground with sack situations, drag, push, things like that. I'm not sure what our identity is yet. I think maybe our identity would be being mentally strong on the base pass offensively, having a plan, having an approach, knowing what you're doing on the bases, and don't get beat doing boneheaded plays. I think that should be our identity right now. But whether we're a small ball team or anything like that, I'm not sure yet.
It's such a you mentioned basketball and baseball rich community, a couple state champions in baseball. It's been quite some time since that happened, but you're 5 years removed from getting to the state tournament and things of that nature. What do you think it's going to take to kind of get back to that, or at least feel that Bobcat pride and community aspect of baseball being kind of, just going out and being competitive on that nature?
Absolutely. I do think it starts at the top with our high school staff of creating an atmosphere that kids want to be a part of. Like, hey, they're going to baseball every day. They're enjoying it. They're going and competing. Their coaches treat them well. They work with them. I think that's where it starts. But a lot of work needs to be done at our youth level, and I don't think anybody's done anything wrong. I guess what I would just say right now would be anybody 8th grade and younger, if you're not doing anything in the summer, grab a glove, grab a ball, and just play catch a little bit, and maybe you'll develop, some type of love for this game. And then from there, maybe we can boost up our youth program, improve numbers, and if you have more numbers, you have more opportunities to help kids develop, and then eventually maybe we'll have more opportunities to play at that higher level and get back to where we would like to be playing in Iowa City now, I guess.
Yeah. I think you're bringing up such a great point, because I know that recently you guys for football have had some camps for kids like going into middle school. I know Adam and the football staff is ingrained in the community and the MFL and kind of seeing some of that younger development go. And Coach Apple on the boys basketball side, I know he hosts camps, and Brian Murphy does the same thing well, and he teams up with Kaylee Pashong to get girls excited about both basketball and volleyball. I mean, that youth is such you see any successful community, they have that aspect, right?
Yes, absolutely. Strong youth program. Typically the way it works is you start with a big pool of kids, and then eventually, it is going to dwindle down, but you want to start here. If you start here, it's still going to dwindle down. So try and get it out here. How we get there, I'm not quite sure yet. We have a lot of conversations to work through this summer. We'll bring in Coach Hankey, talk to him, see what his thoughts are, and maybe someday we'll get this thing figured out.
Yeah. I guess last question for you here as we focus, I guess I've got 2 questions, because the other one's on South Tama on Monday night, and you'll be able to watch that game right here on KFJB-TV. First one, though, when you go and play teams like we saw Johnston a couple years ago, and the way that they run their baseball program, and every starter out there is a senior, and then you go see some of these other programs, and they've got tons of seniors and juniors. And not to, call out, but, you got a couple seniors and one junior. Where do you get, back to that level of having, a full roster of seniors to make up 9?
With our lower level program, I think right now we have 12 or 13. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that. 8th graders, and then we have 3 9th graders, unfortunately. Well, sorry, misspoke. 5 9th graders. If we can retain all those guys, that's a start, because then all of a sudden you're going to have 10 plus 9th graders next year with another probably 10 plus 8th graders that are currently 7th graders. That's how we kind of get it back to where we're at a point where we have 8 seniors and 8 juniors, and we're at a pretty good spot. And to do that is we need to play those kids a bunch at the lower levels. They all need to get innings. They all need to get at-bats. They all need to get innings off the mound, and hopefully they enjoy it, experience a little bit of success. But again, kind of circling back to what I talked about earlier, coaches coached them, developed a positive relationship with them, and they enjoyed their experience, so they want to come back. Yeah,
and I've always thought baseball is the hardest one too, because school's out, you've got all these other things because Iowa and I believe maybe Wisconsin, I think, are the only 2 states to have summer organized high school baseball, right?
And I would say I'm a big advocate for summer baseball. When you go to national clinics and things like that, and you talk to coaches from, Minnesota, they play in the spring, and what are you doing? You're playing, you have 20 games scheduled.
You play 5.
6 of them are getting snowed out.
You're
not building any type of community pride within your baseball program that way. So we do it right. What else would you rather be doing in the summer? Playing baseball, right?
Yeah, exactly. Love it. All right, last question for you. South Tama is on Monday night. 7 o'clock is first pitch. You can watch the game right here on KFJB-TV and listen on KFJB FM 93.9 FM. and AM 1230. So 7 o'clock Monday nights. I know you hope to have a lot of fans out there. It's kind of nice. You guys have a little bit of a different entrance to be able to allow all that big project going on over there at the football and soccer and track over there. So anyway, your thoughts on Monday night as you get the season started?
Yeah. Right now, primarily, we're going to focus on ourselves. Our coaching staff can focus a little bit on South Tama, but I just want our kids to know where they need to go when the ball's put in play and do it full speed. And if you mess up, you mess up. That's okay, because guess what? Another one's coming. So if we can do that, we'll be all right.
Yep, that is for sure. We'll talk to you Monday, all right?
Thank you.
All right, it's Alan Mann. He's the interim head baseball coach for the Marshalltown Bobcats. We'll talk softball coming up next with the new head coach, Jason Bowers, right here on Bobcat Live from Wayward Social. We're inside Rosie's here tonight on KFJB-TV.
Marshalltown's best pizza, Zeno's is the place to get delicious homemade pizza from scratch that the whole family will love. For some, it's a family tradition, and Zeno's Pizza is all about old-school family-owned pizza making. Zeno's respects tradition so much that they have had the same thin crust pizza recipe for over 70 years. There are a couple of ways to get your Zeno's Pizza. You can dine in, order online for pickup, or call 641-752-1245. Zeno's Pizza, 109 East Main Street, downtown Marshalltown.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV. Thanks to some of the softball ladies for coming out tonight. Appreciate that. I'm Brandon Lewis. We're now joined by Jason Bowers, head softball coach in his first season. You come over from East Marshall. You're over there. I know we had a chance to talk to you during our winter edition of Bobcat Live, but I emailed you about the schedule and I think Bobcat Live and stuff, and you were just excited to get going. How's it been with practice and everything here?
Great. I love being on the dirt, in the grass. It's much better being there than it is in the gym. I think the girls like to be outside as well.
Yeah.
I think the indoor stuff just gets a little stagnant. And, once you can get, the smell of the dirt and get playing around, I got some girls that love to dive and get dirty and stuff. And I got one that says she even does her own laundry, so she's no big deal. So, but it's good to get out there and get things going.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's this experience been like for you to make the change? You're an assistant over at East Marshall. Now you come to Marshalltown. You know, the past couple of years, maybe not the success that has been hoped for the program, but boy, one thing that I gathered from last year is lost some good seniors off that squad last year, but bringing back a healthy stable of young talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I got 30 girls right now on the roster. I got 5 seniors that will definitely all contribute, and juniors to sophomores, I'm a little light there in those classes. But freshmen in 8th grade, wow, there's a lot of kids in those grades. Some talent there too. So it's exciting moving forward for sure. I'm just trying to build that roster. I'm trying to build a database in my head of where I think kids can play, and hopefully that comes to fruition here pretty soon.
Yeah, for sure. What's it like in a first year kind of getting acclimated, establishing maybe the way you do things versus, hey, we're used to this is what's been done in the past, but now here's the Jason Bowers way moving forward.
Yeah, so that's the big challenge. These kids are so used to doing something a certain way, and then I want to do it a little bit different. And, it comes from just the throwing routine to how we field a ground ball to how we do batting practice, everything. Softball's softball, but the way I want them to do is just a little bit different. And honestly, at first, you consume some of your practice time going through the things I want them to do and the way I want them to do it. So it does take away from the actual practice time just to get them the way I want to do it. So,
but I always think the most important thing you can do in your life and your work or whatever is think long term, right? Don't be thinking like a dog. Don't be thinking about your next meal. You need to think long term. So you're laying down the groundwork for hopefully years to come, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And it starts early. These 8th graders and freshmen, in 4 or 5 more years, and then they just go out into the practice field and do it. I don't even have to say anything, right? And we're almost there. I've made 3 of the seniors captains this year, and
awesome.
We're almost to that transition point where I'm giving them the reins to get through the stretching and the warm-ups and the throwing routine and things like that. So we're just about there. And
who's the captains this year?
I got Ava Augustine, Reagan Ford, and Kristen Hayes.
Okay, yeah, good crew. Ava had a lot of innings pitched last year. She's a battler, just going out there and working consistently. I know, obviously, first year, so did you see her play at all last year at all?
Yeah, we
over at the
we
Rose
faced them at,
Festival tournament.
Rose Festival.
Yeah. So now versus then, have you seen her develop in her pitching and things like that?
So Ava will pitch for me.
Okay.
She said she will, but
okay.
It's something that she really doesn't want to focus on.
Okay.
And she didn't really focus a lot on it this off season.
Yeah.
And I understood that going in, but she's there if I need her, and she's doing a little bit of work at it, and she did a little bit in the off season.
All right. What do you want to play? Center field.
She
okay.
likes the outfield. She's a good outfielder. I got 2 of the kids you're going to interview here in a little bit, or 2 of the corners, and I don't know my whole 9 or whole 10 that I'm going to put on a lineup card yet, but I guarantee those 2 will be on it somewhere.
Yeah, and Gianna, who's here, and we'll talk to her. She played outfield, but was also a very, for being as young as she was last year, a very good leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
Plus, she's got some speed to burn as well, and I'm sure that gives you a little bit of flexibility with your lineup, right?
Yeah, honestly, I just got goosebumps because it makes me excited to know that she's on my team, right? we faced her last year, and she was a problem. She was a problem for us. I think she got on, I think, every time she was up to bat.
Yeah.
So it makes me excited to know that I got that tool in our back pocket to do something with. So.
The Newton Cardinals have always run a pretty good ship down there, it seems like. Always been a pretty good challenge for the Marshalltown Bobcats. That's going to be your first game of the season, regular season game, coming up on the 23rd. We'll have that game for you right here on KFJB-TV. Looking forward to having that one on the road. Always a good battle between Marshalltown and Newton. I guess, as you prepare your team, what are you working on in the next week or so to get them ready for that matchup?
I'm trying to get a varsity team together. So the kids know that we're going to have an inter-squad scrimmage probably on Tuesday, and then after that I'm going to put 15 to 18 kids that I'm going to pick to be on the varsity team. They understand that could be a little fluid as the year goes. Maybe I want somebody to come in, they're going to throw some innings, or somebody's looking really good at the JV little, hitting the ball, and maybe I need to give them some chances at the varsity level.
Or injuries pop up, that unfortunately sometimes that happens.
Absolutely, yeah. So, it'll be fluid throughout the year. But I want to see him in this inter-squad scrimmage, and then I'm going to kind of make my decision then. And when we go to that scrimmage, we have one on the 19th, Friday, against South Tama. Then I'll have a pretty good idea of my top 10-ish girls that I'll put on a lineup card. So.
What are you looking forward to most from this season?
Honestly, I love this time of year. I love being with the kids. I love showing them something to tweak their either throwing or their catching or their fielding, and see them do it, and see the smile on their face that, like, okay, that works, and you see their confidence build on practice after practice after practice. That's what I like. I really enjoy that. That's really why I coach. Game days, I'm a wreck, right? I'm an emotional wreck. I mean, kids, you guys got to put your earmuffs on and not listen to this because I'm a wreck. I'm nervous. I'll be pacing, and I'll be excited. I'll really be excited. But
I'll be over there pestering you for your lineup.
Yeah, and I will. But honestly, just. I love the practice part of it. The games are kind of the frosting on the cake. Our goal, we kind of just made one team goal this year, and that's just to compete. I think Mr. Mann kind of talked about it in baseball. I don't care who we play. Let's suit up. Let's lace our shoes. Let's go. Let's play softball, and we're going to face some really good teams, but our goal is to compete. You know, take it down to the 7th inning. Let's get to the 7th inning, make something happen, and sneak out some wins maybe.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we're looking forward to the season, and it'll be here before you know it. And good luck for the next week. Getting ready for Newton on the 23rd.
I appreciate it.
All right, that is Jason Bowers. He's the head coach for softball at Marshalltown High School. When we come back, we'll talk to the softball ladies. Right, is Greg also hanging around? We'll talk to him coming up later at Bobcat Live, right here from Wayward Social on KFJB-TV.
Nothing like enjoying a bicycle ride on Lynn Creek Trail. The ride gets even better when you take a break at Wandering Creek Golf Club. No, not to golf, but to enjoy your favorite cold beverage. Wandering Creek Golf Club in Marshalltown is known for its premier golf course and its 2 full-swing simulators. But did you know it's right off the bike trail next to Grimes Farm? It's the perfect place to stop to relax under the pergola and enjoy a drink with friends. Travel the trails of Marshall County, but make Wandering Creek your destination.
Don't let concerns about current events derail your long-term financial strategy. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you to understand today's financial landscape and how to be positioned for the long term. Edward Jones can give you the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Call Zach Wall at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or online at edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Since 1967, Jensen Ford Lincoln has served generations of families around central Iowa. Quality vehicles, professional service, knowledge of our product, that's a part of Jensen. But what's more important to us is a trust that is passed down from every generation. Jensen Ford Lincoln wants to serve your family. We want to be there for your first car, we want to be there for your family SUV, and we want to see you drive away in the Mustang you always dreamed of. At Jensen, we want to be here for you now and every mile along the way.
Whether it's time for a new ride or a new-to-you ride, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to help with new and used vehicle loans. Rates are as low as 2.24% for up to 60 months for new vehicles and used vehicles for 48 months. Go to their website, lennoxecu.com, for further details and membership eligibility, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown, member NCUA.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV. Thanks to the crowd showing up here tonight. Appreciate that. Coming up later, we'll also talk to a couple of the baseball guys. We'll talk to Nick Rebick and Seth Smith. That'll be our last segment of the night. We're here at Wayward Social. I'm Brandon Lewis. Our producer is Zach Tomish tonight, as well as Mick Meyer over there on camera work. As hey, come out here and enjoy a socially awesome atmosphere at Wayward Social. And, of course, we were supposed to be on Gutter Point, but a little bit of rain. Did you get some showers at practice earlier?
No, not
really. It rained over on this side of town just a little bit. But, yeah, so anyway, we decided to play it safe and move it inside. But, anyway, they've got the shuffleboard out there, so stop by here and check that out. And I'll tell you a little bit about a shuffleboard tournament they're going to have here at Wayward Social a little bit later in the program. All right, let's jump into softball again. So the 23rd, you're going to take on Newton. We just talked about it with your head coach just a little bit. But Ava Augustine with us. Tell me a little bit about your preparation going into the season, what you've been focusing on and trying to get yourself ready to go.
Honestly, just taking each practice to do my best and work on what I can control and try and bring the team together and all do our best.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know Coach mentioned that you don't really want to pitch as much, maybe. You want to play a little more in that outfield. I guess for you, what was it in your mind? You just love kind of roaming out there and doing that kind of thing? I've
just always loved outfield, and I kind of stopped pitching a little bit, but I'll definitely still pitch if I'm needed.
Yeah. As this season comes up, last year you batted .281 at the plate. You had 4 runs scored, 7 RBI. As far as the hitting aspect goes, what's kind of the focus there? I mean, how do you improve as a hitter at the softball level?
Just making sure when I go up to bat, I have the mindset that I'm going to hit the ball and just compete and take any pitch I can get.
Coming into this year with the change of coach, coming from Jim Palmer, now we go to Jason Bowers. That changeover, Coach talked about it a little bit. Just maybe a different style on this or that. How's it been for you?
Honestly, good. I like the new way of doing things. I think it's working. It's a good change.
Yeah. Gianna Bowdy with us, and I said it right, correct? Okay, all right, good deal. I just want to make sure I get your name right all season. But last year, you were doing a lot of leading off as an 8th grader, now coming up into the 9th grade season. How challenging was that to be a leadoff hitter? But it seemed like you really excelled. I mean, it must have been you took that challenge head on, right?
Yeah. At first, I would get like really, really nervous before, but by the end of the season, it got so easy. I was just relaxed and I wasn't nervous at all.
Mm-hmm. You racked up 16 stolen bases. Are we shooting for 26 this year, or what are you thinking?
Yeah. I definitely think that I need to work on getting faster, and I can try to make that goal for this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not trying to put any pressure on you. It's just, probably am, though. But you batted .303, 12 runs, 16 RBIs. You played outfield. What did you think that you learned maybe the most about the fielding aspect of your game last year?
I kind of learned how to, use my speed in the outfield. Like, before, I would never play in the outfield because nobody would hit there. And then as I got into, better playing, I got hit a lot out there, and I just had to use my speed and get there.
How much do you rely on your teammates like Ava to be able to talk and maybe figure out situational things about whether there's a runner on first or second and what we're doing in the outfield? Do you talk a lot and kind of game plan together?
Yeah, we sort of just talk between every pitch, and I think that's something also we need to work on a little bit more, but yeah.
Yeah. As far as the season goes for you, is there any kind of goal or thing you've been working on heading in?
Definitely speed and just getting better contact with the ball in my batting and running the bases faster.
Yeah. The season starts on the 23rd. You're going to have a scrimmage next week, like Coach mentioned, on Tuesday, and then next Friday at South Tama. I mean, has it been dragging on, or has it been getting here quicker than you thought for the start of the season?
Definitely quicker.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Were you playing any other sports leading up to softball?
Volleyball in the fall.
Okay.
No.
Just softball strictly.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Anything I'm forgetting? What should we know about the softball program? You excited?
I'm excited, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Gianna?
I'm excited to have our new coach and just new ways to do everything.
Yeah. I heard somebody mention something about uniforms. Are you getting new uniforms?
We are getting new uniforms.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
Are you rocking the gray pants anymore?
I don't know.
I think navy.
Navy?
Navy pants, yeah.
Good, because I hated the gray pants. They were awful. No, I love that. That's awesome. Look forward to the new uniforms. Your first game of the season on the 23rd. We'll have that right here on KFJB. So good luck this season. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, Gianna Bowdy, as well as Ava Augustine here on Bobcat Live. We'll talk to AD Ryan Isgrig, who, sorry if you got the gray pants. You weren't the one that got the gray pants. Okay, he didn't get the gray pants. That's good. I didn't offend anyone, hopefully. This is Bobcat Live from Zeno's, or excuse me, not Zeno's. We are at Wayward Social tonight right here on KFJB-TV.
Businesses are the backbone of our community. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that when you shop locally, you are benefiting members of our community and adding to our local community overall. You'll find local business owners are generally more knowledgeable, provide better service, and even know their customers by name. Marshalltown Area Chamber of Commerce exists to be an advocate for our business community. Membership in the Chamber benefits your business and adds to the strength of our advocacy efforts. For more information on shopping locally and Chamber membership, go to marshalltown.org.
Why choose Marshalltown Community College for your education?
A quality education.
Hands-on career training.
Convenient on-campus living.
One-on-one attention from my instructors.
Earning my AA degree and transferring to university, all while saving money.
Why was MCC the right choice for me? The great student activities and the friends I met. 2 convenient locations and the option to take online classes.
The right choice is MCC.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Bobcat Live back at Wayward Social. We're inside Rosie's. We had to move things inside. We were trying to be out on Gutter Point, but a little bit of rain moving in, so we are inside tonight. But thanks so much for having us here at Wayward Social. It's Ryan Isgrigg, Activities Director at Marshalltown High School. You've been busy with all the activities, but then pile on a big project going on out there at the football, soccer, and track. How's everything going? Because every time I come by, there's something new that's been done.
Yeah, it's going good, I think. We've had good weather, and yeah, if you haven't been out there to see it yet, I recommend you do, because it looks a lot different. It's cool to see the progress, and we're tremendously excited and grateful for the project that's going to be finished by the fall.
Yeah, I know that a lot of different funding aspects and things of that nature, but I mean, we've already kind of highlighted a little bit just about the new scoreboard and the new stands and the new press box, and obviously widening everything and the lanes at the track. I mean, just overall, do people estimate just how much the look and feel of it out there is going to change?
I don't know. Some people might not realize it till they step foot out there.
Yeah.
So and that helps build the excitement level of of this project. And yeah, it's going to be just a huge improvement for our facilities, as well as just a big step up for a lot of our teams, and our kids deserve it. Our kids and our coaches deserve a great facility. We have great facilities, kind of on the other side of Bobcat Boulevard with the roundhouse tennis and of course the new wrestling room, but everything on the other side of Bobcat Boulevard needs some upgrades. So we're taking it one step at a time, but I think this phase of the new stadium is going to have a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, and I know that this is a special baseball softball edition, so I know you mentioned in the past, yes, those are in the future plans for some upgrades out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and same thing. We have some really good kids, and I'm really excited about the coaching staff this summer. And yeah, we're really excited to see our boys and girls this summer go out and compete. New conference, some new coaches out there. We had a baseball scrimmage the other day, inter-squad scrimmage. It was really cool to see the kids out there competing. And we're really excited for, like you just talked, new uniforms for the girls softball. There's a lot to be excited about. And, and I know they're going to play, and like Coach Bauer said, they're going to go compete. And that first game, Newton, will hopefully go down there and compete and get a win.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's been a busy spring. Of course, track has been going on. Girls golf, congrats. They did a great job the other day at the Iowa Alliance North tournament and got first place. It just been a really good spring. I could keep going, but I guess I'll let you fill people in. Tennis has been really, really solid.
Yeah, spring's a really fun time as an AD. You get events in the early March where it's snowing out, and then like yesterday when you're getting sunburned. And so yeah, our girls golf team conference championship finally got over that hunch and beat Ames, which is awesome. They beat us in a duel in a tiebreaker. We lost to them really, really close in a few tournaments, invitationals, but to be able to get that conference win, conference title, you see our girls kind of playing really well
at a good moment right now as they head into the postseason. So, really proud of them. Coach Johnson, and the girls, they did a really good job and represented well. Our boys won it in the fall, girls won it in the spring.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But, we're really close in boys tennis. Lost a heartbreaker to Mason City 6-5 in a duel. And so just came up a little short in the tennis conference title. But nonetheless, had a really good week this week. We had several individual and doubles qualifiers out at the Marshtown Court Complex. And we had hosted girls yesterday, and we have several individuals and team boys tomorrow as well. So we're hoping our boys can make it back to the state tournament for the third year in a row.
Yeah, that's awesome. When it gets to this time of year, when you've got everything kind of crossing over, track and everything bleeding into baseball and softball, I mean, it's what's the best way as an AD to keep everything kind of going and keeping all the schedules right and all that?
Just organization and just relying on some good people. I have a really good assistant, Stacy Galima, and some really good experienced coaches that help, and a great support staff as well. So all that really helps. And boys and girls track are at the state qualifying meet right now in Norwalk. So we're excited and hopeful to get a few state qualifiers there. But it's a really tough district too. So. And boys and girls soccer wrapping up their season too, or regular season heading into the postseason. And girls soccer 7 wins this year. So that's the most they've had in a long time.
Yeah.
So they've had a really good year.
Yeah.
And the Drew Indianola I saw in regionals today. So we're excited.
Stacy, you talk about her being your assistant, but also being so ingrained in the community. I know she's done public address for the softball program in the past. She's obviously ingrained in soccer in the community. At MCC, she's been out there as well with soccer. And so to see her, just her excitement, she's always smiling. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Stacy not smiling. Maybe you have, but I have not. But it just seems like that positivity probably oozing a little bit into that soccer team as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's a fun group of girls. They've been bugging me about, some schools we see pull up in a charter bus. And the kids are always, why don't we get a charter bus? And I have to remind them, like, guys, it's a good thing we don't have charter buses. That means we're not spending a ridiculous amount of money, and we actually have bus drivers. So these schools have to do charters because they don't have bus drivers. And so now the girls' soccer team's been bugging me, do you think we could get a party bus or something? And I was like, keep winning and we'll talk about it. And they do keep winning. So they're after me right now. So, it's a good group. We're hopeful that they'll get a win on Saturday against Des Moines North to end the regular season.
Yeah, and boys, we were able to cover them as well. It's been really fun to see their growth on both girls and boys side of soccer. We've been excited to have our first year of ever broadcasting soccer here on KFJB-TV. Hope to grow that in the future. It just seems like right now, I know with the new coaches in baseball and softball, and then the current coaches that we have, it just seems like a really good core group of coaches that you have right now.
Yeah, I think so. You heard two of them earlier, and they really, the most important thing is they care about the kids and building those relationships. And, obviously it's more about just wins or going and competing. It's about giving them life lessons to go on and graduate. And, you heard from one senior, you're going to hear from two more in a minute that are just tremendous kids. And they're going to go on and just be so successful in life. And it's bittersweet because you want them to stay. Some of these kids you want them to stay, but yeah, they have and a lot of that, their success is whether they know it or not now is because of their coaches having a positive impact on them. So,
yeah, for sure. Last question for you. I've seen, I know Nick Rebick's going to go play at Central. We've seen a couple of the football guys go play at Central. I know that Coach Mann played at Central. Is there kind of a connection with going to Central and kind of being, a pipeline to the Dutch?
My dad played baseball at Central too.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
So, and Dr. Schutte went to Central.
Okay. So they like Marshalltown.
They like Marshalltown. A lot of people are. We have a board outside my office now of all the kids playing at the next level right now, and you see kids from all over. Yes, Central's represented well over there, but you see kids just all over, and that's really cool to see as an AD to see those kids go on and be successful in academics and sports at the next level.
I think it has to help the current involvement, right? If somebody sees that, they could think, man, if I work hard enough, maybe I can get there as well.
Absolutely. And a lot of that is, tip your hat to, you have Nick and Seth, who you're about to talk to, Ava, just really good senior leaders that are so inclusive and with the younger kids. And, I remember growing up, having some of those seniors that kind of took you under your wing, and then you had some of the upperclassmen that maybe weren't that nice to you. But obviously you want the kids to be the Nick Revicks and the Seth Smiths that take those younger kids under your wing. And that's how you build a program. And that's how you're going to get kids to come back out for sports, too.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well said. Ryan Isgrigg, Activities Director, thanks so much for joining us for a special edition of Bobcat Live. Appreciate it.
Thanks, and thanks for covering soccer this year and everything. It's been awesome.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun and hope to continue growing KFJB-TV. We'll take one more quick timeout. When we come back, we'll talk to Nick Rebick, Seth Smith, baseball, when we come back right here on KFJB-TV.
Within a city not far from here. The city includes a beautiful apartment building with indoor parking, a chapel, a movie theater, a swimming pool, exercise and recreational facilities, putting greens, and more. The city isn't really a city, but it is a wonderful place to live. Make friends and live your best life. It's the Embers Retirement Community in Marshalltown. The Embers provides security, independence, and companionship. Beautiful grounds outside and lovely studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments inside. See it for yourself. The Embers in Marshalltown.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Capon & Brown helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Capon & Brown to hear more about how they can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call them today at 641-753-3563 or visit them online at caponandbrowninc.com. Your local premier Lennox dealer, where quality has been a promise for 48 years.
Marshalltown knows competition. We started forging trowels in 1890 and evolved into manufacturing tools for masonry, drywall, concrete, flooring, tile, paint, and more. Today, we're still going strong. Marshalltown strong. As a worldwide leader in manufacturing, we crush the competition. We believe in our community and are proud to support Bobcat Athletics.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress has your mattress. Every firmness, comfort, and support level, each at a great price. Make the investment today for a good night's sleep for years to come. McGregor's also has quality furniture for every room in your home. Beautiful, comfortable sofas, recliners, dinette sets, and office furniture to help you work and relax in comfort and style. McGregor's Furniture is proud to bring you quality furniture and great service, and they are proud to support Bobcat Athletics. McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown, open 7 days a week.
Welcome back into Bobcat Live here on KFJB-TV from Wayward Social. We are inside Rosie's. We were trying to be outdoors on Gutter Point, but unfortunately it's raining. So nice enough to come inside to Rosie's. So thanks so much to all who made it out to the program here tonight. Do want to pass along June 3rd, right here at Wayward Social, they have a bocce ball tournament. Does that sound like something up your alley? Yeah. Anyway, the tournament will be held outside on the outdoor bocce court, and you can come and compete. It's $16 for a two-person team right here, and you can make the payment at the door. I think I could spot you $16. We'll see how you guys do. If you win, I get part of the...
We'll get your money back.
We'll get my money back. Hey, we're talking with Seth Smith and Nick Rebick from the baseball team, and the season gets going on Monday at home. And that one against South Tama. You can watch that game right here on KFJB-TV. Looking forward to the season. I saw you guys scrimmaging the other night. And one thing that stood out to me is, Seth, I saw you in catcher's gear, I think, for the first time in like 3 years since I've been broadcasting your guys' games. So how is that going for you in your first kind of draw at that?
I used to play catcher a lot, but then I went away from it for a little while. So just getting back into the swing of things. But, I'll get there eventually, and it's just going to take a little bit of time, but it feels good.
Yeah. Of course, Caleb Kuzero's probably going to do a lot of the catching. What do you make of a guy like Caleb? He impressed me during football season with, I think He had a couple picks on the season. He played really good defense. He kind of one of those heart hustle muscle guys like Braden Weatherly. He just hustling around making plays. What's your thought of him and his leadership behind the dish?
It's great. He's always working hard. He's always willing to make the changes when we ask him to, and he's just a competitor.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it that much better to have him behind the plate because he's always willing to do anything.
Mm-hmm. First-year interim head coach, Alan Mann. You guys will have a new head coach next year. I know you're senior this year, kind of moving on, but what do you make of the change to have Coach Mann in here as this interim role? And it seems like he was the right fit for something like this, with being a baseball coach before here at Marshalltown, and then obviously I know strength and conditioning. It seems like you guys have probably a pretty good relationship with him.
Yeah, it's great having him there because, I mean, we see him during school so we can ask him questions whenever we want,
Mm-hmm.
and then once we get to practice, it just feels natural.
Mm-hmm. Nick, heading into your senior year, it seems like, I've been calling games since 2019, so pretty much your whole, kind of high school career. I've seen you kind of continue to work up. I know you've caught a lot in the past, but you're really going to focus a little bit more on pitching and center field this year. Heading into the senior year, I guess what's kind of a focus for you in your game?
For me, it's probably just to play the best baseball I've played in my life up to this point. I mean, I know I'm the old guy now, so I kind of want to help out the younger guys as much as I can. Just kind of help them learn as much as they possibly can. So when me and Seth are gone, that they know what they're doing still.
Mm-hmm. How much pride do you guys take in being the only two seniors on the squad and kind of really helping make sure that you set a good example and kind of helping guys and leading them through the season?
We take a lot of pride in it, but there is a third guy, Kyler Blue.
Oh, Kyler Blue. Sorry. I always thought he was a sophomore last year, and I thought he was a junior this year, but Coach reminded me the other day that he is a senior, so sorry, Kyler. So anyway, I don't know why I always think he's a junior, but so I guess having the three seniors on there, I mean, just being a little bit of a younger team, is there a challenge in that, or do you think it's a good thing to be able to kind of have, that new blood in there and the guys are excited and want to learn, be coachable?
It's definitely a good thing for us because it gives us a great opportunity to be a good role model for the younger guys. So it just puts that pressure on our shoulders to go out there and be great every day to put on for those younger guys.
Yeah. You guys, you batted .330 last year, 11 runs, 16 RBI, 9 stolen bases. You did pitch 32 innings, 21 strikeouts. As far as the pitching goes, you might be behind the plate and then you go on the mound. Maybe you're playing. I know you can kind of play a few different positions in the infield. Being able to be kind of that utility guy, or at least versatile, how is that challenging, do you think, or is it just kind of something you've adapted to?
It's just something I've adapted to because obviously we want to win. So if I have to do that so we can win, then I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm. Nick, you've obviously played almost every position except for like maybe first or third. I don't know if
I've got first base against Fort Dodge last year and third base against Waukee last
year.
Oh,
did you? Okay, yeah. All right. But so you pretty much played almost every position out there. I know you're going to go play at Central next year. Did the coaches ever bring that up in kind of the recruitment process that you bring a lot of flexibility to a baseball team?
A little bit. They've talked to me, kind of maybe middle infield guy, or maybe they asked me if I was interested in catching. I kind of shot that down. Not very interested in that in college, but mainly said kind of a middle infield, center field guy.
Mm-hmm. Seth, have you made a decision where you're going to college next year?
I'm going to go to Iowa State.
Okay. All right. Good deal. What are you studying?
I'm going to major in civil engineering.
Awesome. That's a good field. That's good. It's a fun field too. I mean, it's there are many different ways you can go, like development and planning and all that kind of different stuff. So anywhere you're going to kind of focus on in that, or?
Haven't quite decided.
Haven't quite? Yeah. Good. Well, good luck to you and future endeavors. Nick, .463 batting average last year, 23 runs, 15 RBI, 21 stolen bags. You did pitch a little bit, 10 innings last year. Where do you want to see your game improve this year as far as at the plate?
I want to see more extra base hits. I mean, I've always been a big single guy, loop the ball over the infield or kind of beat up the infield single, but I want to kind of put myself in a scoring position right off the bat so I don't have to work over to second, maybe have a sack bunt in second. I want to start there and be able to work over.
Mm-hmm. It seems like at home, I mean, it's such a big field. I mean, it's a challenge to hit one out of there, isn't it?
Can be.
It can be. Because, the wind is out of the south a lot. So, I mean, it's coming in pretty good and things like that. What's it like playing at your home field at Marshalltown High School?
Obviously the best place to play. You always want to play at home.
Mm-hmm.
There can be some challenges, but I mean, after a while you practice enough, you know how the ball's going to hop and where it's going to bounce off the wall and how it's going to play. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seth, in your senior season, what's the most important thing that you think in your mind to leave behind for the younger guys as they come up? Because it seems like, through football and the other sports and activities that you're doing, I've always seen you kind of that leadership roles and guys looking up to you.
You just got to be a sponge. If a coach tells you something that you're doing wrong, don't take it as criticism. Build off of that, learn, and then next thing you know, you'll be even better because you took it and you learned from it. So I would just leave behind, be a sponge, learn, and then lead people. Don't follow.
Last question for you, Nick. I think I talked to you last baseball season before going into football season, and it was kind of funny because I was talking about whether you get tired or not, because it seems like you're wrestling, you're playing football, you're all over the place, maybe at running back and linebacker, and then at baseball you're playing every position. It was like coach is going to put Nick wherever to be successful, that kind of thing too. But being able to be that kind of guy that's there's a coachable and a leader. I guess same question for you. I guess what do you kind of want to leave behind to some of the younger guys to make sure they kind of keep passing that down the line?
Kind of just always do what you're asked. I mean, it might not be the most fun thing to do, but if you're asked like, hey, I need you to go play center field this inning, then you come back and hey, I need you to go play second, and then hey, I need you to go play left field. Just always move on. You got it. Just go do what you're asked, learn as much as you possibly can, and just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Looking forward to Monday. It'll be here before you know it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time here tonight. Nick Rebick, Seth Smith with us here at Bobcat Live at Wayward Social. Thanks so much for coming out tonight, support the program, and we look to get the season started for baseball and softball. Baseball on Monday nights, it is at home, 6:45 pregame, 7 o'clock is first pitch. It is a varsity single game, and we'll have that one for you. I'm Brandon Lewis for our producer tonight, Zach Tomish, as well as Jesse DeMeyer, a.k.a. Mick Meyer, on camera work here tonight. You've been watching Bobcat Live right here on KFJB-TV.